Morning glory, evening grace, brethren and sisters. Everybody back with us here with the Temperance Awakening and our vaping lectures. Today looking at our vaping lecture number 30 and day 23 of our quit. And today looking at something very important, something that I'm really excited about looking at, is the power of time. The power of time. Not vaping puts time back in your life now, and in the long run as well. A smoker usually can finish a cigarette in about 5 minutes. After disposing of the bud, a seriously addicted or stressed smoker might fish a new cigarette from the pack and just light up again and put it back in his mouth. And this is called being a chain smoker. A chain smoker uses the last of the burning ash from one cigarette to light the end of a new one. And each cigarette still takes about 5 minutes to smoke. One of the many troubles with vaping is that you can puff continually until the device's battery dies or the powder cartridge runs out. And this behavior is called chain vaping, in contrast to chain smoking. So case in point, an individual, Gerald, that's not his real name, we'll protect his identity, but just going by the alias Gerald, he started vaping in order to give up cigarettes. As is usually the case, his nicotine addiction just intensified and got worse. He was sneaking drags morning, noon, and nighttime. He neglected his duties at work, frequently missing deadlines, and not doing his duties at home either, causing a lot of friction with his wife. He developed a chain vaping habit and was spending hours vaping each day. Gerald was vaping more than he was living, and it was interfering with his relationships, his job, and just overall quality of life. Vaping controlled him. Finally one day his best friend hollered at him and said, "Dude, you chain vape." Any addiction can take over your entire life, as it did Gerald's, and you'll use that vaping rather than work, rather than studying, exercising, or pursuing a hobby, or, spending good quality time with friends and family, or any other productive or meaningful activity. You lose control of your ability to make healthy choices, and you might find yourself turning to other addictive substances. And that loss of control can feel terrifying. And now that you've reached day 23, you no longer rely on a vape to get you going the first thing in the morning or to keep you going throughout the day. You've regained control of your life in ways and hopefully reclaimed all that extra time that used to go up in a cloud. You feel more present in your day-to-day life, and to get to this point, you created your activity list, something we did not all that long ago. You selected new or more self-care activities. You changed your routines. You undertook new or more forms of exercise. You also made a point to pursue your passions. And breaking free from vaping means having a lot more time on your hands, and now you're going to choose how you want to spend that time. And now quickly, before we look at our assignments, we'll look at our team talk, which is wasting time. And even at their best, young people can waste time, can waste a lot of time. And then you add vaping to the picture, and, they can seriously fall behind in schoolwork, like other things they're supposed to be doing, practicing an instrument, learning a new language, sports, hobbies, chores around the house. And the same rules apply to preventing them from wasting time on vaping as on any other disruptive activities, such as excessive use of a smartphone, social media, video games, etc. So first, manage the kids' expectations. Make it clear that changes are coming. Be reasonable, but also be specific and calm about what you no longer will do or will tolerate. Set firm rules, such as no vaping at home or anytime, not in the car, not at school, not when they're around you. And if you find out that they were vaping when they weren't around you, like with their friends around in the neighborhood or whatever, that, they're going to be punished. That step in particular gives you more control over the situation, and it also sets clear boundaries for your teen, what y'all kids need. Balance any negatives with positives. Point out how much more time your teen will have to do favorite pursuits. Continue to support their sincere efforts to quit. Encourage healthy activities in place of vaping. And listen, rather than criticize. If you have trouble listening openly and calmly, then, enlist the help of somebody. Like a support group, a counselor, a minister, somebody along the lines of that. And that's time well spent. And now with our activities, as we said, continue with hand-to-mouth therapy and keep using nicotine replacement therapy. And then just an assignment for today. Looking at the power of time. And think about, there's just one thing here. It's on page 189 in your textbook, by the way. Think about how much free time you have since you stopped vaping. What new activities that you started doing to help quit vaping do you really like? Is there anything else that might sound appealing? Maybe traveling, trying a new hobby, spending more time with loved ones. And so I'll just write a few things down there, and that's our assignment for today. You come on back and continue to be with us. Tomorrow's lecture, we'll be looking at day 24, taper to nothing. So another very important lecture. So you come back and be with us, and we'll see you then. Until that, everybody can the shadows flee away. I'm Dr. Coop, and I love you, and I appreciate you.